Hello there, very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News. I am Tracy Shilshi and here are the headlines this Monday morning. India-Israel delegation level talks today. Prime Minister Modi and visiting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to discuss defense, trade and counter-terrorism, among other issues. Farm sector development is a priority for the centre, says Finance Minister. Launches agri-commodity options in Goa seed. Assures centre trying to increase farmers' income through new schemes. Crisis in the top judiciary will be sorted out soon, assures Chief Justice Deepak Mishra to the Bar Council of India panel. Assurance after meeting following issues of functioning of Supreme Court raised by 4 of its senior judges. Future challenges demand greater commitment, says Army Chief in the message ahead of the 70th Army Day today. Says bilateral engagements with other armies of the world is increasing. And India to resume first innings at 183 for 5 on the third day of the second test against South Africa at Centurion. While in the Under-19 Cricket World Cup in New Zealand, India beat Australia by 100 runs in the opening match. Our top story today, it's the second day of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's historic 60 visit to India. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu will hold delegation-level talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi later today. During the talks, both leaders are expected to discuss a host of issues, including defense cooperation, trade, innovation and counter-terrorism. Several MOUs are expected to be signed in different areas after the talks. Ahead of the meeting, the Israeli Prime Minister will be accorded a ceremonial welcome at Rashtrapati Bhavan. The Israeli Prime Minister will also call on President Ramnath Kovind. Prime Minister Modi and Netanyahu will also attend the second India-Israel CEO Forum meeting in the evening today. The first CEO Forum was held during Prime Minister Modi's visit to Israel. The two leaders will also attend the India-Israel Business Summit. Netanyahu is leading a high-profile delegation comprising 130 businessmen from 102 Israeli companies from areas like agriculture, water, cybersecurity, healthcare and security on his trip. The visit comes just a month after India voted against US's move to declare Jerusalem as Israel's capital at the United Nations. However, Benjamin Netanyahu has said that one negative vote at the UN cannot change the dynamics of Israel's relationship with India, terming India-Israel ties as a marriage made in heaven. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu arrived in India on Sunday on a 6-day visit. Netanyahu and his wife Sarah were accorded a warm welcome at the airport by Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself. From the airport, Prime Minister Modi and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu went to the Teen Murti Memorial. Both leaders paid homage to Indian soldiers who sacrificed their lives to liberate the Israeli city of Haifa in 1918 from the Ottoman forces. The ceremony also marked the formal renaming of the Teen Murti Chowk as the Teen Murti Haifa Chowk. Later, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj called on the visiting Israeli Prime Minister. The two leaders discussed matters of bilateral cooperation. During the meeting, Netanyahu told Swaraj that he was overwhelmed by the warmth he received upon his arrival here. He also said that the visit can catapult bilateral ties to the next level. Later, Prime Minister Modi hosted a private dinner for Netanyahu and his wife. Netanyahu's visit comes as India and Israel celebrate 25 years of diplomatic relations. During the visit, several MOUs, including in the field of defense, oil and gas, renewable energy, amended protocol for airports, cybersecurity and co-production of films and documentaries are expected to be signed between the two sides. Netanyahu will inaugurate the third edition of the annual Raisina Dialogue in New Delhi Tuesday. During his stay in India, the Israeli Prime Minister will also visit Agra, Ahmedabad and Mumbai. Prime Minister Modi had visited Israel in July last year. Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV. All right, for more on this, Akhilesh Sumana, correspondent, is joining us on the phone line from the capital. He's, of course, going to be tracking all the developments that are taking place. Akhilesh, a very good morning. It's a start of a very hectic week for you. Give us an idea of what is it that we'll be seeing today.
This is today the most important day of the visit of Prime Minister Netanyahu, and today is the day when things will be decided that in which direction now. Because one of the major issues that has to be decided today and discussed today, though it will not come in open, about the defense issues, and we have had talking about defense deals for a long time, and one deal was cancelled last month. So I think connotations of that will be decided, that what will be the ground rule for re-energizing that deal. Because defense makes one of the major part of our relationships, and the relationship between India and Israel has been on no political considerations. This is the best part of the relationship between the two countries, because if you buy some equipment from countries like US, there are so many tags that are attached, conditions that are attached. But Israel is doesn't display any political condition, and that is why we had been very comfortable in defense deals. But there are some issues regarding the ground rules of purchase, and that has to be decided today. And other than that, you know that there are so many areas of innovation that is coming to be the major component of our relationship, because we are one of the biggest markets in the world, and we have a very vibrant and energetic population. But Israel is a small country, but it is full of technology and innovative ideas, and also innovation is one of the major components of their whole youth activities in the country. So this has to be, this will be very interesting to see that what comes up in the innovation field, because we have to see the agreements, and agreements will be signed in the area of innovation. And once we see the CEO's forum meeting, you know that in business summit, innovation has to be one of the major components that would have been decided. So
Absolutely.
It is going to be major thing, and that will be the most interesting part of our relationship, because India-Israel relationship is going beyond defense. Defense should not be and would not be one major component and only component.
Absolutely.
So that is the whole idea, that India and Israel should go to the next level, and next level will be the cooperation in fields other than defense, like it is agriculture. They have very good technology in agriculture.
That's right. That is in fact one of the brighter spots, really, at least as far as India is concerned, that it is going to be looking forward on how to, of course, use technology to make agriculture, the links at least between both countries stronger on that front as well. We'll leave it there for the moment. Akhilesh, thank you so much for joining us this morning for an update on what we can expect in the day ahead. We'll, of course, come back to you through the day for more updates. Let's head on to the other big story that we've been tracking now for a few days. Chief Justice of India, Deepak Mishra, has assured that the crisis in the top judiciary will be sorted out soon. His assurance was given at two separate meetings with high-level delegations of top two lawyers as bodies, the Bar Council of India and the Supreme Court Bar Association. A 7-member Bar Council India panel, led by its chairman, Manan Kumar Mishra, had a 50-minute meeting with the CJI. Earlier, Supreme Court Bar Association President Vikas Singh met the CJI and handed over a resolution of the Apex Court Lawyers' body on the crisis. He later said that the CJI has assured him that he would look into it. Before meeting with the CJI, the Bar Council of India delegation met Justice G. Chelameshwar, M.B. Lokur and Kurian Joseph. The BCI said that the judges also assured them that everything would be sorted out. On Friday, 4 senior judges of the Supreme Court addressed the media, stating that there were certain issues afflicting the country's highest court that are a threat to democracy.
सारे ऑनरेबल जजेज इस व्यू के हैं कि हम काम सुचारू रूप से करेंगे, कहीं कोई डिफरेंसेज नहीं है, और मीडिया पर पब्लिक में इस ढंग के जो डिस्कशंस होने लगे हैं हमारे न्यायपालिका के प्रति, तो इससे सभी को वेदना है, इससे सभी को हर्ट पहुंचा है कि जो भी हमारे छोटे मोटे डिफरेंसेज हैं एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव इशूज पर, उनको हम मिल बैठ के निपटा लेंगे। इसको घर के बाहर ज्यादा डिस्कशन करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है।
Meanwhile, in an interesting development, the family of Special CBI Judge B.H. Loya who was hearing the Sharabuddin Sheikh encounter case, has said that they are convinced that he died of natural causes. Judge Loya's 21-year-old son addressed a press conference on Sunday and said that the family does not have any suspicion on the cause of his death. He also appealed to various NGOs and political parties to stop politicizing the death. The deceased judge's father and Anuja's aunt had earlier alleged foul play behind Judge Loya's death. Judge B.H. Loya had allegedly died of a cardiac arrest in Nagpur on the 1st of December in 2014 when he had gone to attend the wedding of a colleague's daughter. The 4 senior judges who had questioned the way the judiciary is being functioning also had doubts over this particular issue.
We are convinced कि वो एक नेचुरल डेथ थी. हम लोगों को कोई प्रकार का कोई डाउट या सस्पिशन नहीं है. एंड आई कैंट से एनीथिंग अबाउट जुडिशरी. जैसे कि कट के अंकल ने बताया कि देयर वाज अ पीरियड ऑफ इमोशनल टर्मोइल. जैसे मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया कि इमोशनल टर्मोइल था, तभी थोड़े रूमर्स आ गए थे, तभी उनको लगा ऐसा कुछ होगा. बट अभी वी आर क्लियर. लाइक मैं उनसे बात करके आया हूँ, आई एम रिप्रेजेंटिंग देम, तो उनको कुछ भी डाउट नहीं है. वी ऑल आर क्लियर विद इट.
The nation is celebrating 70th Army Day today. The Chief of Army Staff, General Bipin Rawat, will review the parade at Karyappa Parade Ground in Delhi Cantonment on the occasion. He will also present gallantry awards. The Army Day is celebrated to commemorate the day when General and later Field Marshal K.M. Karyappa took over the command of the army from General Sir F.R.R. Butcher, the last British Commander-in-Chief in 1949, and became the first Commander-in-Chief of the Indian Army post-independence. In his message on the eve of Army Day, General Bipin Rawat said that the Indian Army is giving a befitting response to the adversaries along the borders. He also praised the Indian Army's counter-terror operations and said that the future challenges continue to demand greater commitments from the Indian Army. General Rawat said that the Indian Army's bilateral engagements with other armies of the world are increasing as well, and so is military diplomacy gaining ground.
Our soldiers have given a befitting response to the adversary along the borders. Our conduct in counter-terrorist operations has been professional, whilst at the same time upholding the values associated with human rights. The improved security situation in Jammu and Kashmir and the Northeast is a result of continued selfless commitment of our rank and file in difficult and challenging situations. Our response in providing succor to our countrymen has been prompt, resulting in saving valuable lives.
All right, with that, a quick break here. Up next, we'll get you more national news and also the top international stories.
Hello and welcome. I'm Amritan Shura and you're watching Law of the Land.
Gratuity under the Act is applicable only on the basis of the central government gratuity.
These shops and other establishments which are covered under the State Shops and Other Establishment Act.
निरंतर वेतन आयोग की में जो बढ़ोतरी हो रही है, तो अभी 7वें वेतन आयोग के हिसाब से सरकारी कर्मचारियों के लिए सीमा बढ़ा दी गई है.
Watch Law of the Land on Rajya Sabha television.
The Indian Institute of Management Bill 2017.
All these Indian Institute of Management postgraduate diploma holders face many difficulties world over while registering for PhDs and other research facilities because it is not a degree, it's a diploma. अब इनको जब ये national importance का status मिलेगा तो ये degree दे सकेंगे.
Before I was elected to this August House, for 14 years, I had the privilege of being a faculty member at the Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. So it is a matter of great pride and joy to see a bill coming through to elevate the status of not only IIM Bangalore, but other Indian Institutes of Management to status of institutions of national importance.
Creating an institution, building the structure of the institution in bricks and mortars is comparatively easy. but to inculcate a very vibrant institutional life in an institution is very difficult. And I believe autonomy plays a key role in the art of institution building.
Welcome back. Let's give you some more national news. And Finance Minister Arun Jaitely has said that development of the agricultural sector is a priority for the NDA government. Launching agri-commodity options in Guar Seed in New Delhi on Sunday, he said that the centre is trying to increase income of farmers by new initiatives and schemes. He also said that farmers have changed the scenario of economic growth of the country with their efforts and immense contribution. The Agri Options Initiative by the National Commodity and Derivatives Exchange Limited will give stakeholders a new set of financial instruments to hedge their price risks.
और उस बढ़ती अर्थव्यवस्था का विभिन्न वर्गों को लाभ भी होता है, लेकिन सबसे अधिक लोग और सबसे अधिक जनसंख्या इस देश की कृषि में है, और जब तक वो लाभ स्पष्ट और प्रत्यक्ष रूप से कृषि में नहीं दिखता, तब तक वो जो विकास होता है वो अपने आप में न्यायसंगत या इक्विटेबल नहीं होता, और इसलिए ये लाभ वहां तक पहुंचे और ये विकास वहां भी उसी मात्रा में देखने को मिले, ये देश की प्राथमिकताओं में से एक है। और कई ऐसे स्थान हैं जहां पर संकट इसलिए भी दिखता है कि पैदावार उसने बढ़ा दी और उसकी वजह से दाम कम हो गए और उसको अपनी पैदावार का दाम नहीं मिला। समाज में कई कदम उठाए गए, उसी दिशा में आज इस ऑप्शंस का जो किसान को इसके माध्यम से मिलेगी, इस ट्रेडिंग के माध्यम से, उसी दिशा का ये एक अपने आप में महत्वपूर्ण कदम होगा।
Today is the last date of withdrawal of nominations for the upcoming Lok Sabha by-elections. The by-polls will be held on the 29th of January to fill 3 vacancies in the Lok Sabha. Polling will be held for Rajasthan's Ajmer and Alwar constituencies and West Bengal's Uluberia. All 3 seats fell vacant after the demise of sitting members Mehen Chandnath, Sawarlal Jat and Sultan Ahmed. Polling will also take place on the 29th of Jan for by-polls in Rajasthan's Mandalgarh and assembly seat there and the Naupara constituency in West Bengal. Counting of votes for both the Lok Sabha and State Assembly by-polls will be held on the 1st of February. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu celebrated Bogi festival with senior citizens in Andhra Pradesh. Bogi is the first day of the 4-day Pongal festival. Vice President Naidu celebrated the festival on Sunday with senior citizens residing in the Swarna Bharat Trust, Nellore in Andhra Pradesh. He also greeted people on the occasion of Makar Sankranti and Pongal. In his Twitter messages, the Vice President said that this festival, celebrated with different names all over the country, is a celebration of a positive transformation in people's lives. He further elaborated the importance of Makar Sankranti in individual lives. On to international news, and Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has described US President Donald Trump's Middle East peace efforts as the slap of the century. At a meeting of Palestinian leaders, Abbas stressed that he would not accept any peace plan from the US after it recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Abbas's comments were made at the start of a 2-day meeting of the Palestinian Central Council, the Palestinians' highest decision-making body, where 95 delegates will debate future strategies. US Vice President Mike Pence, who is set to visit the region later this month, has also been snubbed, and Palestinian officials have said that they will not meet him because of Trump's Jerusalem call. Abbas also accused Israel itself of putting an end to the Oslo Accords, which began the peace process in 1995. Earlier this month, Trump had threatened to cut aid if the Palestinians rejected peace talks and insisted that recognition of Jerusalem took the hugely divisive issue off the table for new peace talks. But the Palestinians argue that the move shows the US cannot be a neutral broker.
والآن قلنا لا لترامب ولغير ترامب، لا، لن نقبل مشروعه. المفاوضات السياسية برعاية دولية وليست منفردة. لا نقبل أمريكا أن تكون وسيطا بيننا وبين إسرائيل.
A strong earthquake off southwestern Peru's Pacific coast has killed at least one person and injured scores of people. The magnitude 7.1 tremor struck at a depth of 36 kilometers southwest of Akari. The areas affected are mainly rural and blocked roads are slowing down rescue efforts, but food, blankets and tents have been airdropped. President Pedro Pablo Kuczynski also traveled to the towns of Chala and Akari, two of the areas most affected by the quake, to assess the damage. He said that some 100 houses had collapsed, but there was no tsunami warning.
El gobierno se está preocupando de esto y estamos muy atentos a cualquier sismo, cualquier alud, cualquier tsunami que pueda resultar, pero por el momento está todo más o menos tranquilo.
Well, earthquakes are common in Peru, but many homes are built with precarious materials that cannot withstand the tremors. The area between the South American and Nazca plates, where the tremor occurred, is prone to earthquakes, with 13 above magnitude 6.5 occurring over the past century. In 2007, an earthquake killed hundreds in the region of Ica. Another break here. Up next, we'll get you the top sports stories.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Welcome back. Let's get you sports news now. And in cricket, India will resume their first innings at 183 for 5 on the third day today of the test against South Africa at Centurion. The visitors are trailing by 152 runs. Skipper Virat Kohli on 85 and Hardik Pandya on 11 were at the crease when play on Sunday. The hosts were bowled out for 335 runs in their first innings. For India, Ravichandran Ashwin claimed 4 wickets. South Africa is leading the 3-test series 1-0 as they won the first test in Cape Town by 72 runs. India beat Australia by a margin of 100 runs in their opening match of the Under-19 Cricket World Cup on Sunday in New Zealand. Opting to bat after winning the toss, India made 328 runs for 7 wickets in 50 overs. Skipper Prithvi Shaw led from the front with a 94-run knock and shared a 180-run stand with opener Manjot Kalra. Prithvi Shaw was declared man of the match. The Indian bowlers also displayed a splendid effort. Kamlesh Nagrakoti and Shivam Mavi claimed 3 wickets each. India will next play Papua New Guinea on Tuesday. Ace Indian tennis player Yuki Bhambre has qualified for the Australian Open tennis tournament. Bhambre beat Canadian Peter Polansky in 3 sets, 1-6, 6-3, 6-3 in the third and final qualifying round. Bhambre will now face M. Bagdatis of Cypriot, while in another match, Ramkumar Ramanathan lost the match 4-6, 6-4, 4-6 to Canadian Vasek Pospisil. Australian Open, the year's first Grand Slam tournament, begins in Melbourne today. The men's draw features defending champ Roger Federer, 2017 runner-up Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic and Stan Wawrinka, while the women's draw is wide open with just 2 former champions in action. It also features 2017 runner-up Venus Williams, Maria Sharapova, Simona Halep, Petra Kvitova and Karolina Pliskova. And that's all we could pack in on the Breakfast News. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good day ahead.